Hi folks, I know I'm a little bit late posting this, but I wanted to complete the storyline campaign and see what was left to do after it. The unfortunate answer to that is, not a lot. I ignored a lot of side missions and ended up after 75 hours with 20% of free roam game activity remaining after the campaign. While this sounds like a lot, it's not enough of the right content. Not unless you really like to 100% your games and repeatedly like to pretend you were not expecting to be ambushed by a gang while you were minding your own business. Anyway, back to the game itself. I loved it. Like Red Dead 1, it's reason enough that if you have the money and assuming it never sees a PC release, you should buy a console for it. If you miss out playing this one, it leaves a big gaping hole in your gaming accomplishments and you'll never quite understand those good boy memes. The first thing that struck me was the beauty of the game. You begin your story up in the mountains and basically work your way across the map being chased by the law. Landscapes change from mountain to swamp and wildlife that varies from grizzlies to alligators. Small towns, remote outposts, hermit shacks, train stations and cities in the game are all faithfully based upon the United States of 1899, although fictionalized somewhat.
And this being America, and us being nature's paradise on Earth, we must push for purity.
Like the Grand Theft Auto games, the storyline missions form the basis of the game. But you can free roam the map, explore, find geological sites, go fishing, go hunting, pretty much make a survival game out of it. There's a lot of random encounters where you can help people, or not, depending on how you want to play the game. Though I should mention, there's an honor system, and this does change gameplay. It even changes the ending of the storyline and what kind of interaction the NPC characters have with you. There are other core mechanisms that affect gameplay too. You have health, stamina, and the slow motion dead-eye shooting option as seen in Red Dead 1. Each of these has to be recharged either by resting, sleeping, eating, or drinking the right thing. Your horse also has similar cores that need to be recharged in the same way. On top of those, you have skills. You can improve your shooting accuracy, you can bond with your horse, and these, along with many other skills, can all make a big difference. An example of how you would improve your horse is whether it books you off at the sight of a predator, or just complains and accepts a bit of reassurance.
Yep.
And?
The story is generally pretty strong, and if you find yourself getting emotional or angry while playing it, that's not out of the ordinary. The main character is fun to play, and obviously everything in this story ties well into the events we saw in the first game. I can't put into words how good I feel about this game. It's an astounding achievement from my perspective, and it's an honor to be able to play it. But it's not without its faults. First, and probably most importantly, the controls. It took me at least 2 of the 7 chapters to get used to the basic controls. This is made worse by the fact that some things, like the Deadeye system, are locked until a specific point in the story. And I had no idea about it being locked. So for the whole beginning of the story until that point, I was reading how to do it in the menus, trying it, failing, reading, trying, failing. It was only when I got a pop-up telling me that it had been unlocked that I realized why it hadn't been working before, and why I'd had to watch a character commit suicide 10 times while trying to figure out Deadeye before I noticed that specific section of gameplay had its own semi-Deadeye mode for some stupid reason. The most annoying bit is that it tells you in the menu how to do Deadeye when you can't do it. I just wish I'd known so I didn't waste my time. Another annoyance is that certain items like the fishing rod aren't readily available until after you do a specific mission, and whole areas of the map aren't until after the main storyline. Again, this is just something I wish I'd known, because I played the storyline hoping to unlock these things so that I could free roam during the storyline. I couldn't do that, but then once the storyline was done, I didn't want to free roam them anymore. Apart from that, there's not an awful lot wrong with the game. There are a few times, of course, where the NPCs are a bit stupid. An NPC blocks your path through a door, walks in front of your horse, and gets you in trouble with the law because you knocked them over. or you catch a train and watch helplessly as your horse wanders in front of the engine. This can be a little bit immersion breaking. While the game can be played in first or third person, I really found it difficult to work with first person using a controller. Maybe this is because I'm a PC guy, I don't know. On that note, I'm hoping that we'll see a PC release where I can use the mouse to look around, and I think that would feel a lot more natural. On that topic, I'm also hoping we'll see the storyline from Red Dead 1 either remastered with a PC release, or as DLC for Red Dead 2. The Red Dead 1 map is there and is playable, so yeah, I'd just be really disappointed not to see that. Though it should be noted that Grand Theft Auto 5 hasn't had any extra campaign DLCs. It seems Rockstar just wants to push the online functionality for it that doesn't interest me. I'm hopeful they won't do the same thing with Red Dead 2. To sum up, superb game. Worth every penny, even without the online gameplay that they're still working on and obviously trying to push pretty hard. You may want to hold out and see if it's going to get a PC release, but if it doesn't, please find a way to play it someday, despite the few annoyances I mentioned. You owe it to yourself. Thanks for watching, bye bye.
Let the people torture themselves.
Here's them papers I took.
Anybody see you take this?
I don't think so.
I might have an idea. Let me think on it.